Chile Eboe-Osuji.
And the form is out there on the table, and just colleagues can inscribe the names if you're interested in doing so. The proceeds will go to there's a hospital in the Democratic Republic of Congo called Panzi Hospital. Panzi Hospital is a hospital that provides specialized care to women victims of sexual violence and armed conflict in the DRC. So it is to that charity that the proceeds of the silent auction will go. So in the next 10 minutes, the auction will close. And then the permanent representative of Nigeria will announce the winners of the silent bid. Thank you.
So, gentlemen, now the auction is taking place and it will be closing in 10 minutes. All right. How are you doing, sir?
Hi.
We are the Political Reporters. What's your name?
It's Chris.
Chris? Chris, what do you do?
I am Project Director at Sesame Workshop.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that?
What is that? I don't know. Tell me. We don't know.
Sesame Workshop is the organization behind Sesame Street.
Sesame Street?
Sesame Street.
Okay.
The children's media television program.
Oh, okay. Here in New York City or here in New York City?
In New York City, and we've launched a co-production in Nigeria this year called Sesame Square.
What do you do? I know it's for children. I heard you mention about children. What do they produce?
It's a television show, educationally focused for young children.
All right.
Just here in support of the Nigerian candidate.
Chile Eboe-Osuji.
Of course.
Okay, why do you want to support him?
Really qualified fellow, and fantastic to have African on the board.
Okay.
And been impressed with what I've seen.
So your project in Nigeria, whom are you partnering with over there? How long have you been partnering?
The project is really locally created and founded. The Ministry of Education has been a partner. The show is broadcast on NTA 5 days a week in English. 3 seasons currently have been produced, and it's the most recent kind of offshoot of Sesame Street, which is a globally recognized brand for children's educational media, and we're just really excited to have Nigerian nominated, and we're here in support.
All right, thank you so much. Wish you best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Nice to see you. That's the chairman of campaign, Eboe-Osuji. See, looking around, and then some more people, see what happens. How you doing, sir?
Yeah,
How you doing? We are the Political Reporters here in New York City. How are you today?
Yeah, what?
Republic Reporters. Republic.
That's from Nigeria?
No, here. We live here in New York City. He's coming. What you listen to Chile Eboe-Osuji, he's running to be elected justice to ICC for the first time.
Yeah.
He's running for the third time. He ran the second time. This is the third time he's running.
Oh, this is the third time?
That's what we heard. That's our research showed us.
Second time? I thought this is the second time.
Okay, someone else told me third time, but I don't know. But anyway, what's your name, sir?
Well, my name is Kyo.
Kyo who?
Kyo Ameyofori.
Huh?
Kyo Ameyofori.
Kyo Ameyofori, that's you a Ghanaian?
Yeah.
Are you a diplomat at the UN mission? Or?
The Nigerian mission here.
Okay, you work for Nigerian mission?
Yeah.
What do you do for them?
Well, I'm the political coordinator
for Nigerian mission?
of the Nigerian team to the Security Council.
Really? How does that work? I don't understand.
No, I coordinate
the
activities of the Nigerian team
Okay.
to the Security Council.
But you're a Ghanaian.
I'm a Nigerian.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you're a Ghanaian.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you from? Which part of Nigeria? Forgive me.
River State.
From River State.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I have relatives in River State. But anyway, what do you think about the
Where are you
ICC?
from?
I'm from Abia. Abia, yes. Okay. So tell me, what do you think about the? Where are you going? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Right. Still saying hello to you.
I like your camera.
Yeah, appreciate that. We heard you were making a correlation between corruption and not providing resources to the population, that you put sometimes think about it or look at it, but you don't really legally pursue it.
No, what I was saying
Right.
is a concept I call kleptocracy. That is it.
Cryptocurrency, okay.
Where, the public officers basically loot the national treasury, render it bankrupt.
Right.
And you have a situation where people are dying because of lack of funds. Those funds have been stolen. The question is this something that should become an international crime? So it's only a thought that
Yeah, I like the concept.
You like the
I think that ICC should do more to look into those areas. Besides the bombing and grabbing leaders and moving them to, I think that should also be seen as a human rights crime or a war crime, because indirectly they're killing their own population by by looking at that. Yeah, exactly. For them to provide them facilities and resources.
and stealing it.
Yeah, and stealing and
Does not necessarily mean that some people, some states don't have wealth to provide resources, so they're not going to be prosecuted.
Right.
But there are some states, where public officers basically loot the national treasury,
Okay.
and then while people are dying and starving because of
No
those
hospital.
funds that could have been used exactly.
Right.
The question is, if it is a crime in every state individually, stealing public funds, is it something that think about making an international crime where it's done on a scale? Effect? Something like that.
Yeah, and actually, do you know that Chukwemeka Dimogo-Ojukwu, who passed November, this month, 26th November, actually died in London hospital, because we have no hospital locally. I'm relating that to.
I'm not going to
Yeah, you don't want to
talk about any individual state. I'm talking globally.
Yeah, globally. Well, I'm just giving you an example, okay? And he was our leader, and our heart goes out, and we say may he still rest in perfect peace, because he led the Biafran war, and people see him as a freedom fighter, and today everybody is praising him and celebrating that, and the engineering that was founded under Biafra within that 3 years of freedom is now being celebrated, because today Nigeria can even produce nothing. But again, you're talking about you looking at it globally, but we're looking at specific situations where facilities like you mentioned are not there, the hospitals are not equipped, or are some cases that they've collapsed. So that's why I say I agree with what the nuances, how you kind of correlate them. Kleptocracy that you mentioned, that's what you call it, and kleptocracy, exactly, and how that correlates internationally, but in some specific states or nation states where those are preeminent, where they're not actually so much violations, But anyway, again, we wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Marisa.
How you doing?
Marisa, I'm from Costa Rica.
Oh, okay. How you doing? You just coming in, or?
Yes, I was kind of late, but I had to come because
Oh, okay.
I had to see Richard.
Oh, all right.
And your
All right.
friends.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're still monitoring the situation. Mission.
You can take a picture with that.
Not really.
Okay.
Yes. Ogoji I mean, your candidate, so to speak, you know, you are the chairperson, the campaign, and election is next week, Tuesday, December 12th, right?
Yes, it is.
And basically, you know, you may want to say one or a few words. So what do you want to tell the public? Because they will be voting. If he makes this breakthrough, that's a huge credit to you because you've been championing this campaign. And what do you want to tell the public who are watching out here?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to endorse my support of a candidate. First and foremost, as a learned colleague.
Oh, okay, learned colleague, okay.
Yes. The lawyers from the Inns of Court, of which I belong, the Honourable Society of Gray's Inn. That capacity, I endorse him. Okay. I also endorse him as a solicitor advocate to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And also Defence Counsel on the International Criminal Court. Okay. Also, in my capacity of NGO Focal Point Women, Peace and Security, I do endorse him. Okay. It will be a great honor for Nigeria to have my learned colleague, Chile Eboe-Osuji, on the International Criminal Court. I believe it will be the first for Nigeria.
Not just in Nigeria, the continent Africa.
Yes, of which I'm immensely proud.
Right.
And I firmly endorse him, and we give him our support, and we're extremely proud of my learned colleague.
He seems to be well experienced. He has a robust resume.
Oh yes, of course he's well experienced. He's the man for the job. If you look at his articles which he has published, you've seen his presentation on the screen which we helped him do. He's well published.
Okay.
You know, he's well
so
accomplished. He's a man for the job.
All right.
God's blessing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We just want to quickly announce the result of the silent auction. And with this, I have the pleasure of inviting to the podium Her Excellency, the Permanent Representative, Ambassador Chile Eboe.
Chile Eboe, come in.
Thank you very much again, and we really do appreciate your sense of, your spirit of endurance. Here are the winners, Mrs. M. and Dr. T. Fleming.
I have the authority to collect that.
Susan Benesh.
The winners, the ocean,
Susan. Is Susan here? Yes. Oh, Susan. Okay. Where are the books? Oh, okay. They can pick up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to receive it. I appreciate it.
How about the book?
Thank you.
Please enjoy the evening.
Please enjoy.
Mr. Ogu, Mr. Gentlemen, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Winner. Secret option. you doing? You the publisher and the winner as well.
Not the publisher, I was just the person who advertised them.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, forgive us. My name is Carl. We are Republic Reporters here in New York City. So how do you feel by winning?
I'm delighted. It's an outstanding book.
Have you read it already, or have you read some verses or
chapters? I've read quite a bit of it, but not all of it. So I'm very much looking forward to reading all of it.
So what's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name is Susan Benish.
Susan Benish.
Benish.
And okay, Benish. Whom do you work for?
I teach part-time at American University in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
And then I do research in international human rights.
Oh, okay.
As a fellow at the World Policy Institute.
Oh, so you heard Mr. Chile Eboe-Osuji.
Yes.
His presentation and the clips that he showed us. He seems to have a robust resume. What do you think are his chances? And the chances of the continent?
Because I can't say. I very much wish him all the best. That's why I'm here supporting his efforts.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell him?
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So, gentlemen.
It's very glamorous. Even it's the glamour of like the Hollywood effect.
Gentlemen.
And believe it or not,
welcome to us, Brian.
it trumps a lot of.
Yes, you want to join our conversation?
Yeah, we just want to, we just finished ICC conversation. What do you think about his presentation today?
Yes, I'm sure you witnessed it too. Mr. Chile made an excellent point. Very profound question. He was
Osuji.
Yes.
Okay.
He was acknowledged by every guest that was here.
Right.
And because he struck at the heart of the mission which he's about to set his foot on.
Okay.
Which is he's aspiring to become a judge. Excellent credentials. As a lawyer, I feel bound to support him, not only because I'm a lawyer. I mean, come to think of it, a civilian doesn't become, a non-lawyer rather, doesn't become a judge. So yeah, it's the first step.
Your name is Osuji. Are you familiar to Osuji?
Any of them went?
As the name implies, yes.
It does? Okay, the other Osuji from...
There are no others.
From ambassador? It's a large family, is that correct?
Yes.
So you're part of that family?
Has many branches.
All over the place?
Yeah, so he finds his roots in Oguashuku.
Oguashuku, yeah, exactly. Okay, and he's actually a one-time president, a one-time ambassador at the same time.
Then aspirant.
Oh, okay.
Aspired to be one.
I thought he was an ambassador.
He was an ambassador but a presidential candidate.
Okay, he was also a presidential candidate. Which party?
UPN.
UPN at the time. Yeah, that's a very popular name. Yeah, okay. And you listened to Chile Eboe-Osuji, his ICC presentation. What do you think? What are the chances?
Yeah, like I said, it was excellent. It wasn't just me saying. Guests that were here from different backgrounds and countries acknowledged that. So
yeah, I mean, from your perspective, yeah.
My perspective, subjective perspective, was excellent. An objective perspective, everyone acknowledged it as perfect. So I wasn't lost on a solitary ride. So that's it. I mean, we are looking up to the next 4 days where we'll actually celebrate. What we've done today is like a prelude. What we hope will happen in about that week when he would have been declared one of the judges to be stepping up to that.
So what do you want to tell him?
I think he should remain steadfast. I mean, he has a very, very intimidating history, and his passion, above all, is the driving force. That's what's setting him on. That's what distinguishes him from the others, because he's passionate, he's African, and like he said, if you listen to what he was saying, he said, let's try to draw a parity between things you do, not necessarily already identified as crime, to the effect they have as crime. You loot money somewhere in Africa, money, for instance, given to you as a grant for AIDS victims, and you loot it and you walk away. However, those who were supposed to be the recipients die.
The population.
That is like manslaughter. You might not have intended it, it might have been involuntary, but then they have died. And then you're trying to see, that's a thinker that is saying in the future we should begin to look at criminal law as to encompass this kind of thing. Not only the ones that have been established already, like you kill someone directly,
right, or you bomb your country or population.
Certain things you do that have their own linkages to
human crimes
of people that you find dead or dying in Africa. which includes against corruption. That's something that everyone who has a heart and has the feelings of Africa should want to support that kind of candidate. He's living well ahead of his time.
Right. He seems to have a robust resume and a very huge experience.
Yes. That's what he was. That's what he wrote there. That's what is also true. He has a very robust and intimidating resume.
Right. Talking about, if we can be specific, in where we came from, where you score Nigeria, there's been cases. I mean, it's rated as one of the most corrupt nations in the entire world. And when he said that, it hit me. I'm like, okay, he's bringing it home, even though he wanted to talk it on a global perspective. But you also see that he was making sense because, relating to where we're coming from, as to our resources being dumped in Switzerland, UK. Yes, go ahead.
Nigeria wasn't really written as one of the most corrupt.
What was
the last record I saw was about 140 out of 183 countries that were examined
that's almost like the last
Transparency International,
yeah.
one body.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there other bodies?
That's a good question. You see, that body has gained its own notoriety amongst those who are also promoting its cause. That is to say, they said they examined a number of countries, not all the countries in the world. They examined some countries and found Nigeria at a particular number. But that's not to say Nigeria doesn't have some elements of corruption.
So where do you place Nigeria in terms of corruption? Where do you place it? Where do you want to place it?
Just every country has its own fair share of corruption to deal with.
No, I'm specific.
Nigeria, I'm unable to place Nigeria's own because I know that it has an endemic problem that is linked to corruption. But it might not really be founded on corruption. It might be founded on simple things as love. Because if I take money that was meant to be for your treatment, it might be that I don't love you, not necessarily because I'm corrupt.
What is founded? You say it's founded on love. What is founded on love?
Where there is no love.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that you could call it corruption as the output, but the input might not be corruption. It might not be that you're inherently corrupt, because I'm sure you're in Nigeria too. It might just be the feelings you have for your neighbor. But then it's not really time. If you begin to look at it as what people say, as what has been written about it, you might be lost when there begins to be progress towards reducing the corruption level there, or whatever you call it. Right. So we will say Nigeria is like many other nations that have problems with corruption, and they are dealing with them. That's it.
So where do we go from here? Like you mentioned about the hospitals, like for instance, Dimo Jugu, who passed in London because he was moved in London, there was no hospital to take care of him back home. And you look at that, you feel so sad. So what do you think about that?
I don't think that's correct, that there was no hospital to take care of Jugu back home.
Yeah, there was not. What did you he was lifted with ambulance.
Had complications from stroke.
Yeah.
Stroke has treatment both locally and what I might call Western treatment. We have local treatment for stroke in Nigeria. It's a question of choice. If I decide to leave Nigeria to go treat a heart attack, doesn't mean there wasn't hospital. There wasn't any
but he wasn't at Anambra, Enugu's
was in Anambra
hospital,
also,
and they couldn't respond effectively. So he was
a popular man, a great man. So he probably wanted something more than medical treatment.
No, but he was unconscious. So how would he know what?
No. People, his handlers wanted something more than that.
Okay, I thought you said him.
Solitude.
Okay.
They wanted him to recuperate, aside being in that, will I say, circle of political circus.
Friends,
all of these things were going on in Anambra.
Right.
So it might not be, and I don't think it was, that Ojukwu was taken out of the country because we were looking for...
So are you saying that you have the facilities equipped back home to take care of him? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry.
Yes. Several hospitals in Nigeria.
Well, name them.
There's Lagoon. There's Lagoon Hospital.
Lagoon.
There are several teaching hospitals.
Equipped. That is functioning to international standards.
Ojukwu had what we can even call a mundane sickness. So it's not anything extraordinary. He didn't have anything you had to know supernatural science to solve.
What do you mean?
He was suffering from complications from stroke. It was almost ordinary. That's why I say it's mundane.
What do you say is mundane?
Mundane. It's common. Something you can treat even locally.
Really? And it could be Enugu and Anambra State Hospital.
You didn't even need the lagoons to treat him. That's what I'm saying. You didn't need the lagoon hospitals to treat him. general hospitals would have. But I said he didn't leave Nigeria because he wanted not for only singular reason of treatment. He had other reasons. We're not able to tell because...
Yeah, but he was treated in Anambra before being evacuated. Air ambulance. He was airlifted by German aircraft.
It doesn't matter the aircraft. Nigeria doesn't make aircraft. So
yeah, so why not?
Don't get the issues mixed up.
Oh.
He was airlifted by an aircraft.
Yeah, by German made. We don't have one.
It was German made or Sierra Leone made.
It doesn't matter.
Airlifted. Of course, he won't have walked to London. So if he was in a hospital in Anambra, I'm telling you that the people coming to visit him in the hospital may have contributed to his slow recovery. These are kind of the things that may have been the reasons why he was airlifted out of Nigeria. They needed that solitude, relative solitude. Okay. So it's not enough to say...
anyway, let me not push you further into that. All right, but anyway, what do you wish, what do you tell Chile Eboe-Osuji?
Now we're back to the main issue.
That's exactly.
We wish Chile Eboe-Osuji good luck. Not just good luck. What I would say we wish him really is the kind of, it won't be luck per se, it will be let the best candidate win.
So what are his chances?
You know what that means?
Yeah, I hear you.
That means he's going to win.
All right. So we wish him the same thing.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Weche, for talking to us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, reporters stay here monitoring and talking to people. All right. I'm going to talk to this man. Ladies and gentlemen, still talking to. Still doing that.
You want to go and interview the head of admin?
Who?
Yeah.
Head of admin? Okay, sure. All right. How you doing, sir? Get a minute for us? Why not? What do you think about Chile and his presentation? Ambassador Gu, thank you so much for your presentation. That was an excellent presentation. So what's your opinion about Mr. Chile Eboe-Osuji with the ICC coming up? Election is December 12th next week.
My opinion?
Yeah, what do you
I expect victory. I expect him to win the elections. He's the most qualified.
Most qualified? So what are the chances?
Well, the chances are high.
And we heard that there are about 19 candidates contesting for 6 seats. So that's highly competitive.
Very highly competitive, but the best will always win.
Also, returning to the continent, it seems to be a chance for the continent for the first time in history of ICC headquartered in Hague, Netherlands. If he wins, that would be a big boost for Nigeria, a big boost for the continent Africa. What's the feeling?
Well, it's one of expectation, a bigger boost for the continent as well as it is for Nigeria. But first for the continent.
For the continent.
Because we serve not only the continent but humanity. Because it's not going to be a judge for Africa, but a judge on global issues, global matters.
Yeah, there seems to be sympathy for him because the continent has never had a representation, and most of the cases at ICC currently, and even in the past, seems to be African focused or centered, due to the economic relativism to these countries. What's your opinion, having a representation?
Not the economic relativism, but
yes, I'm sorry.
The rate of occurrences.
Conflicts that happens. Majority of the conflicts in the continent are highly economical. Côte d'Ivoire, Coco, the French were involved and the UN institution was involved, and actually he was almost dragged and arrested shamefully, and now he's being tried at ICC. Liberia, the same thing. Sierra Leone, the similar thing is going on. What's your opinion about that? Is there some sympathy in that direction? I'm sorry. That's an opinion out there.
That's an opinion out there.
But what's your opinion?
The conflict is always political. They have economic implications, but first political. The context is political. Perhaps one of the implications is economic.
I heard that Mr. Osuji talked about when a fund is budgeted, let's say for a hospital or for some sort of infrastructure building, for the population. and somehow is being diverted by dictators or leaders of certain nations. He didn't mention. He says it's global, and this one is diverted. That they are thinking. They didn't say they are looking at it. They're somehow thinking about it as human rights violations against those populations who, in that case, might die to the process. They don't have that facility provided for them due to the money was moved away by the leaders of certain nations. Does that ring bell?
Well, the kind of bell that it rings is that there are universal norms. And those norms must be respected by all, not for any region in particular. But the most important and most fundamental is that the people must express their will through the ballot box. If your leaders divert your money, the next time you don't vote for them, you vote them out of office and you replace them with more honest and transparent people.
But in most cases, the election are marred with massive irregularities, and people are worried.
But change must come from within Africa, not from outside.
Right.
Change must come from within. The people must exercise their rights in a participatory democracy. I don't want to go into the politics of that, but what is so
you're educating the population, so it's also good.
What is fundamental is that people must express their rights and their will through the ballot box. If they elect leaders that are not representative of their legitimate aspirations, they have nobody to blame. If elections are rigged, there are international observers and domestic observers who will expose those. If the people who have also voted believe that there's been malpractices in elections, they have a right to protest.
Protests in, for instance, Nigeria, the population, their voice seems to be suppressed. They're either being killed or shot or bombed.
Nigerian population?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, I mean, there's the issue of Boko Haram, who are protesting, using bomb to bomb almost everywhere. And it's ongoing, and they're not stopping. And that people are so afraid even to go out to talk about voting.
I think you got it all wrong.
Really?
Yes, you make me believe, you want me to understand that Boko Haram is an expression, the activities of Boko Haram is an expression of the wishes of the Nigerian people?
No, it's a certain section of the population.
Boko Haram
at least the north, so to speak.
Please, you cannot associate the north with a terrorist group.
How about a certain section of the north?
What section of the north?
But it's within the Borno, Bauchi, Maiduguri.
I think you have to be a little more educated about this. That this is an isolated organization that has found its base, located its base somewhere in Nigeria.
Okay.
A particular location in Nigeria. It has nothing to do with the north or south. Don't let people hear you say associate the north with Boko Haram.
They will be upset. They wouldn't like it.
Boko Haram is a terrorist group.
Organization. Okay.
It's a terrorist organization terrorizing the people of Nigeria, bombing the UN
destroying even the UN building was blown.
Yes. And there is a global, domestic and global fight against terrorism. Terrorism must not be tolerated anywhere in the world because
Absolutely.
it endangers your life,
all of
mine,
us, that we're not
and the
safe.
lives of your children and mine.
What is the Nigerian security doing? Okay.
Young man, how are you? Who are you anyway?
We are Republic reporters, so we are based here in New York City.
Are you a Nigerian?
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah. Why I'm asking, because you massacred her name. You said Ogu. It's not Ogu.
Ambassador Ogu.
If you had said that, I would not have asked.
I said you didn't hear me.
Ogu.
Maybe you didn't hear me correctly.
Of course I did.
Oh, okay.
So for what content am I asking you?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, Chief.
How you doing? All right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Republic reporters, still monitoring. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Well,
you guys have been having a wonderful conversation. Fode, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fode Sipper, president. 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, he was one of the leaders that organized the partnership and development in Africa, Columbia University, Sipper. And today, this is Nigerian House, 21st floor. And we're privileged, ladies and gentlemen, to talk to Sipper president, Columbia University. He's one of the participants here coming to for the program for candidate for ICC, Chile Eboe-Osuji, Mr. Sako. So what do you think what happened here today in terms of presentation? Go ahead.
You know, His Excellency has an impressive background, no doubt. You know, and I think it's really important that, you know, for the candidates going for the International Criminal Court, that, you know, they are extremely qualified, and I was very happy to see that, you know, His Excellency meet every criteria from the cases and things that he's been part of, from the Trust Taylor case and so on and so forth.
Why you call him Excellency? You address him as Excellency. Why do you use Excellency? Tell me.
Because I know he's gonna go there.
Oh, okay. You know, are you gonna vote? Well, are you gonna be one of the voters?
If I'm given the opportunity.
You have been positive, basically.
Positive.
And you listen to his clips. You know, all he's done over the years. He seems to have a robust resume. What do you think?
Yeah, certainly he does. You know, he doesn't come short in terms of experience. So, you know, in terms of if, you know, someone has a question of whether he's the right person for their, you know, to represent, you know, Nigeria on the ICC, you know, I think that he's certainly qualified, you know, to do it and to do the job right, because you need someone who's been involved in cases in the past too as well. You know, the Trust Taylor case, you know, from Sierra Leone to, you know, to the hot zones in like Africa, because, you know, things are changing now on the continent, and especially, you know, proper procedures, you know, are being put into place, you know, to ensure that, you know, rights are respected, you know, on our continent. You know, so it's you know, very important that, you know, whoever is going there, you know, have had an extensive, you know, background looking at, you know, the issues at hand. And I'm very happy to, you know, to have seen that, you know, he indeed had, you know, the proper qualification. So, you know, he has my vote.
Exactly, the moral support. Looking at the continent, it seems to be, if he wins, that might be a huge boost for the continent and for the country where he came from, which is Nigeria. What do you think?
You know, any win by an African, it's a win for the continent.
And for the world.
For the world. You know, so it's I agree with you. You know, it's, you know, we are one. You know, so I'm from Liberia, and I support him.
Right. I ask this question because ICC seems to, right now, as we speak, focus on the continent. Charles Taylor was dragged to the ICC. Babo is now there. Yeah. So what's going on? Some people are confused. They don't understand what's going on.
Well,
George Bush of the United States was never dragged to the ICC, and the US would never allow you to drag their own president into any international organization. They want to try them in their own country. Why is it African leaders cannot be trying in their home countries and they're dragging them to the ICC? I'm just curious. I'm sorry.
You know, that's you know, something that I think that's a great idea in terms of us having the proper institution to be able to try our cases on the continent. You know, so a long-term or, you know, a long-term approach.
Are you saying we don't have the institutions, or they don't have a strong institutions, or?
We do. I think we need to perhaps revisit, you know, our approaches. We need to come together under one house. We need to work together as a team and have the political will and support from all the majority of the African countries too as well. For us to build the Africa Union certainly is there, and I think the hope of like many will be that's where we can all look to, or we can all strengthen, so that African leaders can trial on African soil. But it's certainly a controversial topic, which it's okay for individuals to disagree or agree, because some people are in favor, some people are not in favor, and there are pros and cons to like both. Some will say we don't have the proper institution to be able to carry out a trial on the continent without a political disturbance from their local supporters or from oppositions. And those individuals say that so long as it could be done without any disruption without further disruption, because most of these, Ivory Coast, look at what happened, right? A full-out civil war almost, brought the country down. Liberia, 14 years of civil war. So, in terms of like the African strongmen of the day, I think, there've been large unsatisfaction. Like a lot of individuals have been like not satisfied with their ruling. So I think it's a response, to that.
Okay, and what we're seeing, some people have the feeling, certain section of the society or the public have the feeling that it's been the ICC seems to be dominated by Europeans, and like you mentioned, this might open door for the continent if Mr. Chile Eboe-Osuji wins come next Tuesday, December the 12th of this month. Next month rather. And I was gonna, basically thank you for the organization last week and a couple of days. African Diplomatic, organization, forum that you organized and with your team. Wonderful. It was a huge success. I just want to use the opportunity to thank you for the huge success of the program. Please, we encourage you guys to keep doing that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. And if we're saying that ICC is like dominated by a lot of Europeans, this is a good sign that we are working on getting African candidates on the International Criminal Court too as well. I think we just need to do more of it and work on having more representation. Because I think a lot of the cases have been, on the Africa end. So which leads some to think that Africa has been a target, which could or could not be a fair criticism depending on the arguments that are laid out. But it's at the end of the day, I think the proper way to address the problem is by working with individuals like Mr. Osuji and getting him elected, and we do it one by one. We find other qualified candidates too as well and get them elected too. So we work as a team to make sure that our voice is represented on the International Criminal Court and at fair trial, fair proceedings, fair proper proceedings, or carried out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to Fode Sako, SIPR, School of International Public Affairs, African Institute organization. He's been talking to us with the at Columbia University here in New York City. Mr. Sako, the last question I'm gonna let you go. I know it's been a long day. We also heard that the ICC election is very competitive. 19 candidates for 6 seats. So that must be a competition, a huge competition. What do you think?
It's good. It's good. It shows that whoever is selected, hopefully, given proper, procedures take place. It shows that the best of the best will be selected. It's good to have a good list of qualified candidates to pick from, because it gives the selection committee the opportunity to pick the best. And the hope is that the selection, it's based on skill sets and less on political affiliation. So, but Mr. Ogoji is certainly the best candidate, and he has a lot of support. So we all support him. And the hope is that others on the selection committee will see that, and we'll be able to give him the opportunity to serve, his country and his continent.
Mr. Fodet Sako, thank you so much for talking to us. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, you're my reporters. We'll see you moving around here. Thank you to candidates. I deeply appreciate it. So, amen. The reporters will stay here. I'm just wrapping it up. And I hope we call it off. That's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are here. Reporters are here at the International House and UN mission to the floor. It's all recording. Following this, I will be reporting right here on the 2nd Avenue, right here at the UN building, Nigerian mission to the United Nations. So, thank you so much.